Welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another Hat Show, obviously episode 227. And in this one, we will be discussing a lot of transfer news. We are being aggressive now, as they said we are expected to be in January when it comes to the window. And then obviously we will be previewing the game tomorrow against Sheffield Wednesday. We expect a difficult game, especially with how well they're actually doing this season. You've got to give them a lot of credit. If they win this game, hopefully they don't. But if they do, they can jump up to seventh, same points as sixth. So good opportunity for them. But yeah, we need to start getting points ASAP. But before we get into all of that, Dad, how are you?
Yeah, all good, man. All cool. Hope everyone's, nice and that, and feeling a bit more confident. We've made some, quality signings. And it's like feels more like a little bit of a reset now, doesn't it? So yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, well, we'll start off giving on the signings that we've done since obviously the Hat Show. I'll just get your thoughts quickly on them. So start off with Asgard. How did you feel about that? That's a really good signing, isn't it?
Yeah, he scored two quality goals against us. He's definitely too good for a League One if he was in a better team. Well, he's still doing well anyway. But he's got a lot of talent. He's probably going to end up playing for Norway at some point, I believe. He's playing for the under-21s already. He's very creative. These are the things we were lacking. The shots from outside the box and things like that. He'll 100% be on that. And yeah, he's quick. He's technical. It's a good sign. Excellent sign.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be honest. For me personally, right now is probably the standout because I've heard of him like I mentioned before we signed him. Obviously, because of them goals he scored against us, and I know he's a massive asset for. Well, he was a massive asset for Wigan. A lot of their fans were devastated with him leaving, and I know he went through the Liverpool academy as well. A few Liverpool fans I spoke to, have said he's quality, and I'm very happy about that, especially when you look at his goals, taken away even the ones that he scored against us. He scored a free kick for Wigan this season. It's a great free kick. And he can bring that dimension. Another person who can take set pieces. Alongside Doughty and Clark and others. And like you say, that the shots outside the box, we've been missing that really at times, and he'll definitely be up for them pop shots and stuff. But the way it was leaked was quite funny, wasn't it?
Yeah, obviously, there's rumours and stuff, and then there's a picture late at night before Tesco's.
Late night shopping, anyone?
Yeah, you know what I mean. It was quite funny. I think that's the latest we've announced a signing in recent times,
Yeah,
anyway. But we kind of had to as well.
because of that. Yeah,
But yeah, it's all good, man.
yeah,
Good fee. Wigan ain't no mugs as well. Like, let's be honest. Like, they've won the FA Cup. They've been in the Premier League for quite a long time.
yeah.
So you know,
And they do bring good players through. To be fair to them,
yeah.
and he's one of them.
Excellent signing. Excellent signing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's like Lewis says in the chat, baller, and he is. He's a very, very good player, and he is the one that I'm most excited about at this moment in time. And he says evening as well. Good evening to Paul as well. And then the other signing, get your thoughts on quickly. Ali from Exeter. Obviously, there was rumours. It come in, accepted straight away, and then next day we signed him.
Yeah, like 1.5 mil. I've looked a bit. Obviously we study like the other leagues and stuff. I saw his name come up. When I was looking at it, he scored like 9 goals or whatever, and I was thinking, would we go for him? I don't know about that, like because of the Kone situation mainly. Do you know what I mean? But I still think that's another good signing. He's very good. He's very, very skillful. Excellent at dribbling, getting past his man. Obviously he's going to make the step up, but from looking at his ability, he'll definitely be able to do that. He's 24. He needs to like push on now of his career a little bit. He's still quite young. Do you know what I mean? But he offers a different dimension to what we've got at the club massively. Because Elijah can finish. He normally is good with his head. Morris is excellent at holding up the ball, but we haven't got anyone who can just take it past a few players and then set up someone else, really. And he's excellent at that. You know, Kone's excellent at that as well. Don't think that's going to be done now. We've signed a striker. We'll obviously try and get someone else in. But it does say a lot about the strikers, what they think about strikers. They've not been before. You look at the data; they're data driven. Elijah's probably right. Got really bad data. I think he just needs a change. Obviously, there's a rumor that West Brom are looking at him. Apparently, do you know what? I'd take that in a moment if it's true. So,
Yeah, that offer I would as well.
Because he's been poor for us. Like this season is the worst season he's had with us. And sometimes players need to move on. So I'm happy with that signing. Cheap fee. Exeter as well. They play some good football.
Beat us.
They're in League One. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, they did. I think they beat someone else as well. It was quite decent. Yeah, I like him. He can head the ball. He can dribble. Do you know what I mean? So I'm pleased with that.
Yeah, no, and it's like I said. You look at the goals he scored against Leyton Orient. 2 headers. Pouncing onto them. He brings a different dimension, like you say, but it does remind me in a way of Elijah, like when he used to score them headers, them type of goals, getting onto the back post, like the first one, and the second one was a standout one for me, crossbarring in, and it's one of them, like I said, where Bloomfield would have been looking at him for a while, even at Wickham, because obviously he would have been up against him. He did score actually in the 2-2 draw when it was at Exeter when Bloomfield was managing Wickham, so. He's always had that eye, and yes, he doesn't have as many goals as Kone, but you've got to look at the team. He's like, no disrespect, but they're not as good as Wickham are. You've got to look at that as well, and he's still getting decent amount of goals. And fair play to him because he's basically had a journey like how we've had as a club. He started low and then he's made his way up. He's playing for Halifax not that long ago, and he's made that jump up to obviously Exeter and now us. So I'm looking forward to seeing him play, and I think. He will bring that different dimension and hopefully be the guy to be banging in the goals really at this moment in time because the others they're just not doing it. And yeah, we shall see. Really, with that, yeah, it's looking very unlikely, very very unlikely, mate. 4 bids and they've rejected all of them. There is something you want to say on it, bud. So I'll let you take it away regarding the Kone situation.
Yeah, like 4 bids. I think that's probably it now. Do you know what I mean? If they've rejected this latest one, the latest one's quite interesting because they said 4 million and 3, clauses and stuff. So it makes you think, what was the first ones then? Do you know what I mean? Because he is a good player. He will end up going somewhere top team. Fair play to them for holding their nerve and stuff. I know they've got rich owners and stuff, so maybe if they didn't, they would have took that. But he's also said that he ain't signing a new contract. It's probably going in the summer, unless they definitely get promoted. Then maybe with the owners and stuff, they'll offer him a decent contract, etc. But other teams will be looking at getting him. Maybe not in the Premier League, but if we can stay up. Potentially we've got that little bit of clout because of Bloomfield. We're going for him again if they don't get promoted. But other than that, yeah, we've signed a striker. Probably still need to sign another one. So Ricky J. Jones, obviously, been mentioned. I think he's a decent player, especially if you can feed him and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, Woodrow. I'll still say like he could be, on his way out in this window. Kraus is gone, but I like Kraus. We like Kraus. He said like it's homesick or whatever. I just think generally it's like he didn't come to this club expecting to be fighting a relegation battle, basically. Do you know what I mean? And it's not really doing much for his career. He gets taken off a lot. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've had people say runs around like Edley. It's because he's making that effort. And most of the time he does put in a good tackle, or anything, but he puts
Yeah.
in more effort than everyone else is. So it's a shame, but I'm sure he'll come good. But it frees up a spot. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I've done the question, talking on Elijah, would you guys sell Elijah? There has been two answers from Paul and Jackie, both saying they would. I mean, when you get that type of offer, for a player who's only scored 5 goals this season, like you can't turn it down for me. And again, you know, I believe he could probably do it for one more season for us. If someone else comes in like this Ali guy and benefit him, but if you're getting that offer for someone who's been so poor this season, like you said, that his worst season for Luton, I don't think you can turn it down, really, to be honest. Um, you know, it might not even be true. It might just be a big speculation. I mean, I don't know how reliable the person is who said it, but if it come from Peter O'Rourke, it's very reliable. But I haven't seen anything from him regarding it. But we shall see. I mean, maybe that's why we're going in for Kone so much again.
I think so.
Because it is that type of thing where I still think if a striker goes, we need another one. As much as we've got Ali through the door, we need another one still. Because again, Morris is not really cutting it. We have got Sheffield Wednesday, and Morris does have a good goal scoring record against them, but still, it's going to be a completely different game to what it was at Kenilworth Road. I do expect that. So, we shall see when it comes to that. But Jackie says, hi, Ty Daz. First time I felt excited since the beginning of the season. Yeah. And we
That's what,
needed a big window. Go on, Dad.
that's what signings do, especially young, exciting players who you've got to put, a few of them into that starting lineup. You've got to, because that's what we need to mix it up. If they start playing well, because they won't have that drain of confidence that other team members have got, then it'll just G everyone up, won't it? So, and I think Naismith's a big part of that as well. They're probably
Definitely.
because he knows quite a few of the lads at the club. It's probably some of the staff as well. Obviously, we know that he's got quality, so and leadership skills. So so that all helps, and that's why I'm feeling more positive, definitely.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I am as well. And they said it's going to be an aggressive window. Well, it's been an aggressive ending, and you do have to, give
Win,
them the credit for
that's what I
continuing
said.
to try. We
Yeah,
haven't got Kone. I don't think we will get Kone. Even if we put another bid in, I don't think we should. I think we should just move on now. But we've got a replacement in. Ali. All right, he hasn't got as many goals, but Bloomfield would have been looking at him, like I say, and he would have had a part to play in that transfer. So he knows his capabilities, and if he utilises him right, which he will have a good understanding on him, then there's more than confident that he'll do well for us. And he is based on his story, he's a typical sort of Luton signing in the sense of he's had a journey like we've had as a club, but as a player individually. So we'll see. But is there something else you was going to say then, bud?
no, that's it. I just like, I think I think we'll be all right.
Yeah,
What I was going to say, sorry, was Bloomfield's already come out and said press conference. I don't know if we'd signed Bowler by then, but he said there's still potentially more to come, one or two. He didn't say that, but being people, we're trying to get Kone still. Ricky J Jones. I still think there'll be another two, and there will be movements going out as well.
yeah. I mean, there was a comment on Moses where he has been available for the last 2 games, but he hasn't played. I mean, I'll be honest, guys, I'm not going to be disheartened if he goes. There is a possibility that he could still go him and another one from what I've been seeing. And he's not been good enough, guys. He's had 3 good games this season. Plymouth away when he come on, he was good in that game. He was our better player. I think it's Swansea at home when he played as a wing back. He did do well in that game. And then there was Sheffield Wednesday, funny enough, when he come on in that game. But overall, a player of his standard, he shouldn't have to adapt to the way the team plays. You know what I mean? He's got that experience. He should just come in and come in clutch, basically. And he just hasn't been good enough. So I'm not going to be too disheartened, really, if he went, to be honest. I'm sure a lot of you in the chat are the exact same when it comes to that. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. But Yeah, I mean, like I said, obviously Ricky J Jones have been linked with him as well. I mean, this would be a good signing, from Peterborough. Obviously, we did try and get Poku, once before. Obviously, we didn't put as much as Peterborough would have liked us to put in for that. But this will be interesting if we can get this over the line. I mean, he's very, very highly rated by a lot of people, not even just Peterborough fans, other fans that have obviously, seen him play when they played their teams and stuff like that. And, it's one of them where we do quite a bit of business with Peterborough over the years. Obviously, we did get Joe Taylor from there. Obviously, that didn't quite really work out, as we know. But be interesting, and it'd be good if we can get this one over the line, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think I rate him. Again, another young player, quick, skillful. And if we can't sign Kone, at the end of the day, if we can sign him, we've signed two strikers. And obviously, we'll see how they do. That if they hit the ground running and stuff, depending what league we're in, etc. We'll go in for someone else anyway in the summer. But it's about getting business done, which was a big mistake last January, a little bit, and in the summer definitely. But we're making them moves now, and you can't really complain. Some people are like, I've never heard of this guy, I've never heard of that guy, but who you expecting to sign? But in the position we're in, and a few years ago, we wouldn't have even been able to sign some of these players. Uh, Wickham. The only reason they're holding on to him is because they've got money now. If they didn't have money, he'd been gone because they wouldn't have been able to promise him the contract, even if they got promoted to the Championship, that we can offer him. But they can, and that's big part of the reason I think that he's saying it will be their highest paid player, etc., etc. Keep us in the Championship, or even move us even more forward. So that's it. So yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah, the thing, yeah, I see that Jay Jones winger. But that's the same as Ali. Ali can play on the wing as well.
mm,
Um, but obviously, we've been looking at them, and it's part of that. If you play a front three, or even if they can score goals. That's the key thing. Do you know what I mean? So they're good at running into the spots. Like wingers, especially the attacking wingers, that's what you want. Doubting, we know what he does. He'll go and he'll cross it. But some wingers will cut inside and feed it like that, or they'll score themselves. Do you know what I mean? So it's about, it is always about having players who can play in different positions, especially if the strikers can do that. They can play up front on their own, or they can do this. That's what we need, and that's what we haven't got. Morris can't play on the wing. Morris can't play up front on his own. Elijah potentially could play on the wing, but do you know what I mean? Whereas these guys can, and Ricky J Jones. So yeah,
yeah, exactly. And it also helps for, I guess, depth in options when you think about it. Because now we obviously got in the new signing today, obviously Josh Bowler. Obviously got him in. He can play on the right. You've got Jones on the right, and then you think on the left side. I mean, I guess obviously you got Doughty. Chong could probably play there, but you'd rather see him centrally, like as a cam sort of thing. So if you bring in Ricky J Jones and then he could play on that left and be another option there, that would be great because, like you say, Morris has not got the pace to be up bombing up and down the wings really. So yeah, I agree. And Brown's just not good enough the last couple of games. Let's be honest with it. So yeah, we shall see. But if we get him in, I'll be very happy from what I have seen of him and things like that. So yeah, we spoke on all the transfer news. So it is time to get into the preview to the Sheffield Wednesday game. Like I say, I do expect a different game to the game at Kenilworth Road. Obviously, we was both at that game, Dud. Obviously, in the new stand, a 2-1 victory. Um, you know, it was one of them where our quality did shine through in that game. I'll be honest. Morris obviously come on. He was dropped during them times there. Come on and got 2 goals, a penalty, and then a goal from a corner. I think it was. It was a scrappy goal. I remember that anyway. But Moses come on, made an impact. All the subs did in that game. Their experience coming clutch, and that's what helped us in that game. But going into this game, I expect a totally different game. Especially given Sheffield Wednesday how they've been this season. They're actually 3 points off the playoffs. If they did win this, depending on other results, they could jump up to 7th, which is just crazy, really. So you have to give them massive credit for that. A lot of people expected them to have a better season, but not this good going into this season. But as for us, obviously sit 23rd. If we did win, again, depending on other results, we could jump up to, well, still in the relegation zone, really, because our goal difference is so bad. Unless we won like 4-0, which just ain't going to happen. We could go out of the relegation zone. But yeah, again, depends on the Derby result. If Derby lost and we got, a win, we'll go above them, but still in the relegation zone, guys. So it's getting to that deep end where we need to start getting results thick and fast. And I know I keep saying it week upon week, but it's just going to get worse and worse if we don't. And we're lucky that a lot of teams, let's be honest, have been poor this season in the Championship. Um, so we need to start picking up, really. But bit of insight going into it, like we always do. Sheffield Wednesday have won just one of their last 13 league games against Luton Town, drawing 4, losing 8. A 1-0 victory at Hillsborough in August 2019. So that's a good start, when it comes to the stats to hear from us. Luton Town have won 7 of their last 8 league games against Sheffield Wednesday, losing 1, keeping 4 clean sheets across that time. So that's a good start as well. Sheffield Wednesday are unbeaten across their last 4 home league games, winning 2, drawing 2, scoring 2+ goals in each of those matches. Not so great from our end to hear. Luton have lost each of their last 11 away league games in succession, conceding 2.7 goals on average per match in that time. No side across England's top 4 tiers is currently on a longer losing run on their travels than the Hatters. That's just not good enough. And then this bit's quite funny, actually, because there was a fan, going Charlton Morris, and whoever's wrote this has actually put Charlton Morris. Obviously, it's not Charlton Morris, but they put Luton's Charlton Morris has netted 3 goals across his last 2 league meetings with Sheffield Wednesday, netting a brace in a reverse fixture back in September, like I mentioned. And then a bit more going into it when it comes to Sheffield Wednesday. After late survival last season, Sheffield Wednesday has really kicked on as they sit 3 points below the top 6 going into this fixture. The Owls were not phased by a poor start to the season, which saw them in a relegation zone following defeat at Kenilworth Road back in September. Only 1 extra point has been picked up by Wednesday at Hillsborough, then on the road this season. But the Owls have lost at home just once in their last 8. The key man for them is Windass. He'll be keen to get back on the score sheet after not scoring in his last 4, following a scoring run of 5 consecutive games before that. And that's interesting when it comes to that. I mean, I would definitely put Barry Bannon up there as a player to watch. The guy's 35 now, but he's so good every game. He is the heartbeat of that team, in my opinion. He makes everything click. Obviously, scored a great goal against us in the reverse fixture as well. Yes, it was poor defensively from us, but you can't take anything away from the finish. And the official for this game will be Ben Toner. The last time we had him was when we played AFC Wimbledon at Kenilworth Road in League One back in April 2019. So a very, very long time. He has been in the Championship 8 times this season. One of the games was Middlesbrough visit to Leeds in December. So be quite interesting. He has given quite a lot of cards this season. 122 yellow cards and 4 red cards have been handed out. So hopefully he's one of them where he's not card heavy. He gives it for silly stuff. But you never know with these officials nowadays. But after saying all that, Dad, how are you feeling going into this game?
well, like I said earlier, do you know what I mean? It feels like a fresh start. I don't feel, yeah, yes, we know our record's poor, etc., etc. You know, they're a hard team to beat. But part of me feels like the new signings can have a positive impact, and it does happen generally. So, you know, I'm feeling confident for this game.
Fair enough. I mean, as for me, I've still got them worries about that away form, as you would expect. But I'm a little bit more confident with the signings, especially when I look at signings like Naismith, for example, in the sense of leadership at the back. We've been missing that for so long since Lockyer has been out. And again, McGuinness is growing into it, I guess, but he's still just joined. Whereas Naismith, he's been at a club before. We're missing someone on that left side as well. A lot of people saying, "Oh, he'll probably come in at left centre back." I don't want that. I want him in a left back because Bell has been so poor. The last couple of games, like Oxford away, guys. Oh my god, it was so bad. He was just sitting back and letting the guy run at him. It was so bad. And even when he's on the ball nowadays, you worry. You do because he just sits on it for a bit too long sometimes. So, you know, I'd be putting him in. But we will move on to the lineup. So obviously I'll start off in mine. This is what I'll go with. So I'll go with what we went with away at Oxford. And again, yes, we lost the game, but it weren't because of the formation. We actually looked good in the game, especially in the first half. It was just the individual stupidness that we done at the end of the game, really. But obviously, Kaminsky in goal goes without saying, especially based on his last performance against Millwall, prevented it from being 4 or 5, like I said. I'll stick with Hashioka on the right. I do probably expect Walters to come in at some point, but I'm still going to go with Hashioka. My only worry of Walters is, especially in this game, is Sheffield Wednesday are quite a physical side, and the only worry I have with Walters, he's great at going forward, but I just think he needs to get a little bit stronger on the ball, personally. So I'll go with Hashioka, and he done all right, when it comes to one-on-one marking now. He's getting a lot better at that and tackling. It's just switching off sometimes that he does, but I'll put him over Walters for now. Naismith on the left back, like I say, I'm going Naismith left back. I'm putting him straight there. So yeah, I'm putting him there. That goes without question for me. Bell's been so bad, like I said. I'm going to stick with Anderson. Again, Bloomfield rates him highly. I'm not going to quite put Holmes in yet, so I'm going to stick with Anderson. Obviously, McGuinness, that's a shoe in. That goes without saying. And then in front of them, going the Camber. I'm going to put Nakamba in front. I think when you put him in front of the defence, he does really well. Like Oxford, he was unbelievable. He didn't deserve to be on the losing team, in my opinion. And then my 4 in front, I've gone with like I say, what we went with against Oxford, 4-1, 4-1. Doughty on the left, you know, we've been playing him higher. He was one of the better players against Millwall. He's still trying to create and do stuff. Really good cameo against Oxford when he come on, so got to put him there. Corners as well, him and Clark chop and change. Obviously, I've put Clark there. I've got Jones on the right side. He was rested against Millwall. I was surprised he didn't start, to be honest. So I'd start him in this game, definitely. Driving at players, that's what we need. It's as simple as that. Asgard, I'm putting him in. If anyone's going to start out the new signings, definitely it's going to be him because he's been playing, numerous amount of games for Wigan throughout the season. It's not like he needs to get up to speed like maybe Naismith does. But I'll put Asgard in. That goes without saying for me. That's a nail one. And Clark next to him, like I say, and then ahead of him, it's difficult because, like I say, Morris has a good goal scoring record, but he don't work up front by himself. Elijah, obviously, there's the rumours, so I didn't put him in because of that. And Brown has been terrible, so it probably ain't gonna happen, guys. But I'll put Ali straight in because we've been crying out for a striker, someone who brings a different dimension. So I'm going to put him in. It's probably not going to happen, but I'm going to go with it. But because on that basis, like I say, so that's the lineup I'll go with for this game. Do get in your lineups as well that you'll go with. I mean, Jackie says she loves that lineup. I've put all the new signings in, bar obviously the signing today. But yeah, you know, like I say, if anyone's going to start definitely out of the new signings, it'll be Asgard because he is up to speed. So we shall see. David also says, evening all, hope you're both well, having a good evening. My prediction is 2-0 Sheffield Wednesday. I can't blame you, mate. I can't blame you at all, really. If we put Morris up front by himself, I'd probably agree with you, to be honest. But yeah, moving on to your lineup, Buds, for this game. So this is what you've gone with.
Well, on that note, I have got Morris up front, and I've got him as the captain. You know, I like his goal scoring record. I don't think like we should just drop both of them. You know what I mean? Stalwarts. So I'm sticking with him up front. And you know he's going to get a lot more service with the other guys that I've included on the pitch. But obviously, Kaminsky in goal, sticking with the back. You know, them three, Hashioka, McGuinness, and Anderson as well. I think he deserves another start. And I've also gone with Naismith at left back. You know, although I can see Naismith moving into centre back and still Bell or Holmes being on the left, but we'll see. I think he's still got, you know, the Cam's had a little bit of a rest now, you know, and that's his best position. That's why we initially got him into the club when we was pushing for the, you know, the playoffs and getting promotion under Rob Edwards. Do you know what I mean? So I feel that we should just keep him in that position. And then Doughty, you've got to start Doughty. You've just got to start Doughty in this game. Now that Kraus is obviously gone, I'm starting Walsh, very creative. And I think he'll thrive with the players around him. Asgard, 100% for me, he's got to be starting. And then I've gone Bowler on the left. You know, a lot of people are umming and ahhing, not heard of him, and I like the guy. I think he fits into this system. You know, I've heard he, you know, when he was at Preston or whatever, like he was playing at right back. Do you know what I mean? And he's not. He's a winger, mate, and he's very effective. He's strong. You know, he put a tackle in. He's got good quality on the ball as well. So for me, you know, I'm putting Ali on the bench. You know, I feel it'd be good to come on. I don't think we'll start. You know, we're not going to start every single debutant, but we might not even start what we've got. You know what I mean? But I expect it to be Asgard. Surely he's going to be starting. Obviously, we've got Fanne as well, but I think they'll probably be on the bench. We've got strong ass bench now. You know.
Yeah, and that let's be honest, like I say, it weren't as strong then, but that is what got us over the line against them last time.
Yeah.
So, you know, we shall see. And that is the thing about Sheffield Wednesday. As much as they've done well, and you ask even their fans, you know, and they'll tell you their squad depth is not that great. You know, their options.
They ain't signed anyone either.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and again, I know there's been a bit of a ownership saga. I think if you're going to the game tomorrow, I'm not, but I think if you are, there's going to be a little situation going on, and I think Luke fans can get involved with it. I've heard or something like that. So it's going to be quite interesting there when it comes to that. But yeah, it's the problem with certain owners nowadays, isn't it? They just care more about themselves really, and then or other businesses. It's just quite sad to see, especially with them. You know that it's going to be difficult for them next season. You know, if they don't, you know, have a chance of getting in the playoffs now, it's going to be very difficult next season. I think because teams coming down from the Premier League, you know they'll be up there. They just will naturally. At least two of the three. And then obviously you've got the teams who don't quite make it this year. I'm sure they'll be up there again next year, and then there'll be teams pushing. You expect, you know, next season the ones that are around about mid-table now, you know, have an outside chance as well. So it is. I can imagine if you are a Sheffield Wednesday fan, it is very frustrating with that, really. But moving on to that time, do get in yours in the chat if you haven't already. Score predictions. To say you're feeling a bit more confident, Dad. Are we going to get a second away win of the season?
Well, I think so. I think after what you just said as well, you know, they are a bit frustrated with certain things, and the fact that we've made signings that do often or not impact teams, you know, in January. I think ours will. I think us, you know, we'll all be galvanised. I think we're looking forward to it. We've had a little break. We've got a good record there generally. So yeah, I'm feeling quite confident. So I'm going to go for. I think it. I don't. It won't be easy, but I think we're just going to have that in us. So I'm going to go for a good game. I'm going to go for a 3-2 Luton win.
Well, could be a classic if that was the case. As for me, guys, like I say, I do expect the signings to make an impact and come in at some point, and come in clutch. I just don't think it's going to quite be this game. Like I say, I expect a different game to what it was in a reverse fixture. Unfortunately, I'm going to say a 2-1 win for Sheffield Wednesday. Unfortunately, like I say, it's a great opportunity for them if they win, depending on other results, jump up 7, same points as sixth as it stands. So, unfortunately, I'm going to say that they win 2-1. But again, like we've been saying for weeks, we'll take anything away. Anything that's not a defeat. And I would feel the same with this, to be honest, given how they've been at home as well. They've been good at home, like I mentioned earlier. So we shall see. But yeah, your goal scorers, Dad, your 3 goal scorers.
Yeah, I'm going to go Morris, get another goal against them. I'm going to go.
He did score the last time we went there. Penalty, I believe it was, wasn't it? In a
I'm going to go
friendly.
Asgard to score on his debut, and I'm going to go Liam Walsh.
Oh, I hope so. I do want him to score, man. As for me, my 1 goal scorer, I'll go Asgard as well. Yeah, I'll go Asgard. I've got a feeling that he's just going to make a difference. Take a pop shot and have what we've been missing. I can see that. So we shall see. But yeah, other score predictions and stuff like that. Jackie said this earlier. No expectations for tomorrow's game, but we have 10 days for Matt to work with everyone. Yeah, exactly. I actually thought the Sunderland game was the midweek coming up, but it's not. It's the week after. So I thought we had a quick turnaround, but we don't. So that's good actually, because that would have been 2 away games if that was the case, and it's not really ideal, really. So especially if that would have been away. So yeah, Paul's gone 2-1 to Luton. Nice, do like that. Do like that. Jackie says 2-1. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully. Lewis has gone 1-1. Yeah, again, I'll take a draw. I'll be honest, I'll take a draw. Given their form, given how we've been away, I'll take it. Jamie's gone 2-1. Asgard to get 2. That would be sick if he got a brace on his debut. That would be a sick debut. Jackie's gone Ali to score. That would be good. Jordan Clark, fair enough. Lewis has gone Doughty to score. And Paul has gone with Morris and Walsh to score in that game. So all interesting, all different goal scorers pretty much, which is good to see. But any final things, Dad, you want to say?
Well, the window started off, not disappointing, didn't it? In a way,
Very so. Yeah,
but yeah, exactly. We're going to go aggressive, but they are. And sometimes these
they
things, they see what's going on. You've got to size up what's going on, agents, member, and things like that. But obviously, they said they were working hard behind the scenes, and it's clear that they have been. Considering where we are in the table, I think we've done well to get the players we have. We're not going to draw certain players. That's just how it is because of where you are. But I think young, hungry, technical, skillful players that can put the ball in the back of the net, and Kyle Naismith, you could say, some people say left under a cloud. It didn't, not really for me. He kept Nathan Jones. It was Bristol City who announced it before we announced it, which is,
and it's not like he slagged the club off or anything.
And he went there for double the money. Do you know what I mean? So, and it hasn't really worked out there for him. But he's still a good player, and when he was with us, he was excellent. He was the best player in that season.
I'll never forget that Bournemouth game.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
Coming out of that was unbelievable. I was chuffed after the game, walking down the away end.
Yeah, it's for the rest of the season. So it doesn't work out. And I think last, you know what I mean. I'm sure he'd be dropped if he just plays terrible. I don't think he will. Same with Boulder as well. I think if he does well for us, I'll be happy to sign him because you need them options. Do you know what I mean? I think Moses will be gone as well,
Yeah,
so I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that.
yeah,
Hashimoto, it's a difficult one now because I don't know if he'll fit in so much next season, you know, and I think we might end up getting rid of him. It's a shame, but you know, when we did sign him, it was a bit of a weird signing. You know, let's be honest. He looked all right, but it was a bit, you know, it's not the sort of signing you make when you're trying to stay up in the Premier League, is it? Do you know what I mean? So, but we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good game. I think the new signings will help galvanise the team and going forward, it's going to look good. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like you say on Naismith and Bowler, especially them two in particular, they're loans. So you've got to look at it and think, well, if it don't work out, it's not the end of the world because we haven't paid for them. Do you know what I mean? Yes, it could result in, continuation of poor performances and relegation, but I think they'll do all right. Especially Naismith. I think the leader at the back we've just been missing. I think it's like I said the other day. There was a game we played in lockdown and he was all you could hear was him. When it was on iFollow and stuff like that, all you could hear was him. And he was good for us, like I say. And again, he wasn't really playing his main position when he was at us. And again, he's probably going to do that again. Um, but he can do a job there, and he will do a job there. I do believe that. And yeah, you look at it as God, expect him to come in and do well because the quality that he does possess. And like we said, if anyone's definitely going to nail on start tomorrow, you would think it'd be him out of the new signings. So yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be interesting to see what does happen, but yeah, obviously we have then got a week to prepare after tomorrow for Sheffield United at home. So we take on both the Sheffield teams in quick succession, I guess, sort of. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what does happen. But yeah, I expect more business, like I say, one or two more. But I'm still really curious to see who goes out. Like I say, we do expect Moses, but it's going to be interesting to see who else because I think we've got over a 25-man squad currently. Um, so going to be interesting to see. But yeah, haven't heard too much from Johnson as well, to be honest. So be interesting to see what happens with him when he get loaned out. Probably we shall see. But big up to everyone that's tuned in. Do obviously smash a like if you haven't already. Do obviously subscribe to the channel. Obviously, I did do a little quick short earlier on my thoughts on the new signing, Josh Bowyer. So do check that out if you haven't already. Do smash a like on it. And check out all the other shorts over the last couple of days that I've posted regarding signings, outgoings as well. Oh yeah, quickly, Dad. It was always going to happen, but Campbell leaving. Just quick thoughts on that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm pleased. He's gone to Dundee United. I think it's the same team that we've got the keeper on loan to.
Yeah, it is.
I actually watched their game against Rangers. I think it was Rangers. I think it was Rangers. Yeah, and they played all right, you know, and quite a tidy team. I think he'll do really well there. You know, he's Scotland. He's at home. He don't give a shit about playing in the cold and that. Like,
No,
he's tenacious. You know, the way they play, I think he'd really fit in well there. And I'm pleased that it's a shame it didn't work out of us, of course. You know, but I think he can go higher. He's still quite young. Do you know what I mean? Start performing for them and maybe getting in one of the top two Scottish teams. Playing, you know, getting back in the Scotland squad. I think he's capable of that. So yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it is a shame it didn't really work for him at Charlton under Nathan Jones. You thought it probably would, but obviously it didn't. But like you say, it's usual surroundings. Basically, what I said the other day is usual surroundings. Scotland, he'll be thriving. And like you say, don't care. I'll never forget Blackpool away. And I know any time I talk about him, I talk about that game. But
He scored against Bournemouth.
warming up,
He scored his first goal against Bournemouth in that game, and that was
yeah,
a big one as
yeah, that
well.
was a sick goal. Yeah. Because of that Naismith last minute goal, that sort of got
You forget about
overlooked.
that, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, that was a great shot. Yeah, I remember that. But yeah, no, it's one of them. Like I say, I remember Blackpool away. What the weather's like 9 times out of 10 up north. Pissing it down with rain, wind. Yeah, especially on the, obviously it's next to the sea and that, and he was out in shorts and t-shirt warming up. I was freezing just standing there. Crazy. So fair play to him, and the Watford game, we can't forget about that, sealing the win. He had them memories with us, and some people,
He's a good player.
We are missing a player like him in midfield.
Yeah,
but
sometimes it just don't work out. You know what I mean? But the club don't fit. He's in London. He's a Scotsman. You know what I mean? Luton's probably just bearable. You know what I mean? It happens.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Especially if you're not enjoying your football and you're not getting picked. Because if you're getting picked and you're banging in goals, you don't give a shit where you are. But if you're not, then it starts to play on more and affect you more mentally, and you start thinking about home. And do you know what I mean? It's just natural.
Yeah.
So I think he'll do. I think he'll get back in the Scotland squad. Really good.
Yeah, I hope he does. I know they obviously are rivals of England, but he done well for us and always put in a shift. I've got no bad words to say. And again, a lot of players that have gone, especially recently, I've said that about them, but especially him and Taylor. But it's one of them where Bloomfield's obviously looked at it, and seen that he hasn't been at Luton for a while, and it was always going to be, even when before he went to Charlton, I remember me and you talked about it, Dad. We were saying it's going to be Charlton or Scotland, but now he wants to be in his surround. Maybe even said that to Nathan Jones. Maybe even said that and just said, I just feel like I need to go back up there. Do you know what I mean? Where I live, and I think even Rangers were looking at him anyway. One of the teams, so that would have been pretty sick if he went there. But Dundee, I'd say Jack Walton's there, so we'll probably keep an eye on Dundee a little bit more, to be honest, and see how he does. And maybe, if obviously I don't want it to happen, but if he did go down, Jack Walton might even be the starter next season. Let's be honest, Kaminsky will probably get a good offer somewhere else. Krul can't see him staying, the same as Shea, so he could be the starter. So maybe we might need to keep an eye a little bit more on Dundee games. But yeah, like I say, big up to everyone who's tuned in. Smash a like, subscribe. Do follow me across my social. Do subscribe to the Extra channel. And yeah, like I say, check out all the shorts that I've posted over the last couple of days. Regarding the game tomorrow, probably just do a match reaction, if I'm going to be honest, guys, to it. But yeah, and another thing as well, they've opened up a new club shop. It's opening at 10 a.m. tomorrow. It looks really good, actually. If any of you ain't seen it, go on the Luton Town website and have a look at it, man. It reminds me, the way it reminds me of like when you go into like JD or somewhere like that. It looks really good, actually. So I'll definitely be going in there at one time and having a little look at it and getting some stuff probably. But yeah, big up to everyone. Like I say, smash a like, all of that, and yeah, until tomorrow, I'll see you lot in a bit. We'll do a reaction in the next couple of days to this game, and then we can just go straight into the Sheffield United game next weekend. So yeah, big up to everyone. Take care and peace.
Peace.